Hey guys, what's up? It's munclesonkey and welcome to a new video. In this video we are going to be testing out the Amulet of Souls and talking about, is it worth the buying price? Is it not worth the buying price? Is this something you should be investing in or staying as far away as possible from? So a couple things to clear up that not everyone might know about the Amulet of Souls before we actually get into the testing, and here are some comparisons to some other amulets that have, similar requirements. People around high tier PVMers might be wearing these amulets. The Dragon Rider necklace is not included because it is mostly just worn to boost the Dragon Breath attack. Like, it has decent prayer bonus, but its stats are actually lower than the Amulet of Fury, and the prayer bonus is not really all that helpful. So in all honesty, wear it if you are using magic. If you are not using magic, wear Amulet of Fury or one of the Dungeoneering necklaces. But what exactly does the Amulet of Souls do? What it does is it has a 25 or 50% buff to Soul Split randomly. It just does this. Sometimes it boosts your Soul Split healing by 25, sometimes it boosts it by 50. And the things that you have to watch out for the Amulet of Souls is it degrades, and when you first equip it, you can't sell it. Even if you repair it, which you can repair it by using cut onyx gems on it, you still can't sell it. Once you buy it, you have it for good after you equip it. If you don't equip it, you can still sell it back. So just making sure everyone is 100% clear on that, because I don't want you wasting your money if you buy this thing and decide that you actually don't want it and you want to spend the money on something else. The Amulet of Souls degrades at the rate that most things degrade at the game, the same rate as Chaotix, Barrow's Armor, stuff like that, about 10 hours when you're actually physically in combat. But the one cool thing about the Amulet is it only degrades when you have Soul Split active. So if you want the Amulet with the best combat stats in the game, but you don't actually want to pay for it once you've paid the initial buy cost, you can just wear it and protect from whatever style you have to be protecting from against, and it won't degrade as long as you do not have Soul Split active. So that's actually kind of cool if you just want to wear it but not actually have to pay anything extra for it, because it does give better strength, magic, and range bonus than the Dungeoneering necklaces and also every necklace or amulet in the entire game. And what that bonus amounts to is it's basically 1.5 damage for every single bonus point. So 46 extra bonus eventually amounts to 69 extra damage on all of your attacks, which is really quite good. So I wanted to test out the Amulet of Souls and see exactly how much that 25 or 50% extra Soul Split healing does. And the first way that I wanted to test it out is on the training dummies, because that's a really controllable test. And what I did is I drank the exact same amount of Zami Brews to get my health down to roughly the same. It was 7 higher, I believe, on the non-Amulet Souls test, but that's not really going to make a big difference. And I just used magic basic abilities with Revolution to see if I had, roughly the same DPS output, and I was wearing a Arcane Stream necklace with this. So with the Arcane Stream necklace, it took me 1 minute and 42 seconds to get my health back up to full, only using Soul Split on the training dummies. And now here comes the weirdness. I had the Amulet of Souls equipped, and you'd think, with those extra bonus heals, this is going to go way faster. But it really didn't. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, and I did decide to test the Amulet of Souls at an actual PVM boss, and I could see a significant difference with it equipped and without it equipped. But for some reason on training dummies, this thing just did not cut it. It barely made a difference at all in terms of healing. Here we're almost healed up back to full, had the same amount of health missing, had roughly the same mage bonus, and 1 minute and 39 seconds? What? And only a 3-second difference between the two? That makes no sense. So I really don't know what's going on. Maybe Souls just does not work very well with using Mage Basics. Maybe it doesn't work correctly with the training dummies. I don't know. It would have been cool to see exactly how much that Soul Split difference was actually helping, so I decided to go to Saradomin instead with the Amulet of Souls and see if that could make it possible for me to no-food Saradomin, because this is the hardest hitting God Wars Dungeon boss. This is the hardest God Wars Dungeon boss to do in a fast instance and last for a long period of time. So I wanted to see, could I do this with no food wearing the Amulet of Souls, because this is something that the Amulet of Souls would actually be useful to my account and wouldn't just make it a complete waste, because I do have to kill some Saradomin for a future PVM series, and I plan on, camping quite a bit of Souls Saradomin in the fast spawn instances, and if I could stay there longer with the Souls, that would be great. So I equipped my Vampirism Aura and Vampirism Scrimshot and the Amulet of Souls, and as you can see with the Amulet of Souls, I pretty much needed no food. I did about 20 Saradomin kills with this thing, and I really never had to eat one single time. My health I think only dropped below 50% about once, and Saradomin was spamming her mage attacks, and I was using the Berserk pretty much every single kill, so you would think I would be taking a lot of damage, and I was, but I was healing all back with the Amulet of Souls equipped. Now after that, I had to try how good Saradomin would be without the Amulet of Souls, so I basically just unequipped the Amulet, and it made it a little bit uneven because I wasn't having the extra damage bonus from the Amulet because I just didn't have one equipped without the Souls on, but I still did have my Vampirism Aura and Vampirism Scrimshaw going, and I could see a noticeable difference. Saradomin was hitting me quite a bit harder. I did a few kills with this, and I was averaging maybe about one food every 2 kills, one shark every 2 kills. I could still last at Saradomin perfectly doing this without the Amulet of Souls because her minions do drop quite a bit of food, so solo Saradomin until your prayer runs out is still entirely possible with the Vampirism Aura and Scrimshaw active and without the Souls, but there is a difference between the two. You can definitely notice more healing, and this is one of the kills where I actually had to eat because I was taking too much damage at Saradomin. But even with this, is there a huge difference with the Amulet of Souls and without the Amulet of Souls? You know, there really isn't, at least when it comes to Soulsplit. The damage bonus definitely helps if you're using a non-magic style and you want a good necklace, because Dragon Rider is really only very good with the magic. But is this thing worth the current asking price of the Amulet of Souls, because it's going for around 25 mil at the moment, and with the fairly expensive recharge price, because of course it does cost 2 onyxes to recharge these things, and onyxes have an alch price of about a mil, so they're not really going to get any cheaper. It's really not worth it in my opinion, unless you're just using it for not soul splitting and you want the slight extra damage bonus for magic and rain styles. Then fair enough. If you want the absolute best tier in the game that you can get, you might want to go for it. But for most other people, the soul split is really not a make or break thing, because it really doesn't make all that much of a difference to begin with. I think this piece of content seriously needs a buff. I think it should be powerful enough with how hard it is to obtain, because it does take quite a while to obtain. It takes a lot of PVMing and, you know, a couple weeks of doing boss tasks from death. That should be well rewarded if someone decides to go through to the commitment of actually getting a Hydrix. I think it should be, you know, a more common chance for the souls to actually buff your soul split heals, and it should make a very stark difference whether you are wearing the Amulet of Souls and whether you are not wearing the Amulet of Souls. And at the moment, there is not a stark difference between the two. You can see the difference, but it's not huge, and it's really not going to make much of a difference at most bosses, because the bosses that you do need soul split with, for the most part, you're completely fine without the Amulet of Souls, and you have all the healing you need, taking advantage of other much cheaper items such as the Vampirism, Scrimshaw, and Aura. So in my opinion, I hope this thing gets a buff. I hope this thing becomes more useful in the future, but as it currently is, it's really only for people that want the best in class amulet in the game and want to make sure they're doing the absolute max DPS as possible, and for everyone else, you should really give it a miss. Anyway, that's about all for my look at Amulet of Souls. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with the next video. Farewell.